So here, what we want to look at is how can we add a calendar tab to our Teams page. Okay, so what we need to do in order to do this is we need to be in the Teams SharePoint. So the easiest way to get there is to click on Files, and then along the top there should be something that says SharePoint. And depending on how you're viewing it, it just might not fit along the top. So we'll click on a couple of wee dots there, open up the extra option, click on SharePoint. And this is where it's going to give you a whole load of things that you can do. Okay, so sometimes it's worth having a look at when we play about with and seeing you can add files here, you can do a whole load of different things in the SharePoint. So sometimes it's worth just having a wee look about, clicking on stuff, seeing what you can do. Right, you can help organise some of your things as well if you're an organised person, or you can dump them all in one place if you're anything like my desk. So we're going to click on Site Contents, and it's going to give us a whole load of things down there. Okay, a whole load of different options. That's where what we want is going to appear. So click on New, and we want a new app. So we click on New App, it will load up all the things that we can add to our SharePoint, and there are lots. So it is worth having a look through them, because you might find something else that you want to add in as well. Okay, we want a calendar, so we're going to start just typing in calendar. We'll get first cal, hit search. Okay, and it will find all the things that start with that. And again, a couple of other things, but here, calendar is what we want. So if I click on calendar, I'm going to give it a name. So I'm just going to call it class schedule. Okay, all I want to do is be able to put in the topics that the class have done. So we'll click create. Okay, and here in the list of things, there's now a bit that says class schedule. The calendar picture next. So click on that, and it has created that calendar for me. So how do we do things with that? Well, there's the usual calendar tabs at the top where you can edit events, you can change the way it looks, you can do all those kind of things that you can do in a standard calendar, I guess. Or if you want, you can come down onto the calendar, and if you double click on the day, if you manage to actually double click, it'll open up a new window where it lets you create an item, create an event. So whatever your class has been on that day, you might want to put in, so just call it the first thing, and you can change the date, you can change the time, and here in the description you can even add in more information. You can add in files, or if you want, you can insert links to stuff. Okay, and so what you might want to do is you might want to put in a link to something that you've put in your OneNote. Okay, so open up your Teams, back into your class notebook, and what you can do is if you go across to the left hand side and navigate to the page where you're going to be doing your note for that day, or you can put your information, if you right click on that, down the bottom it's gives you a link for copy link to page. So you click on that and go back to your SharePoint. Okay, if you paste that into the address bit below, so Control V, press OK, type in whatever thing you want to appear, that is then going to create a hyperlink onto your note. Okay, so click Save, and there it is, it's turned out the event onto your calendar. So if you were to open that link, or if you open the event, okay, so again you could do via whatever way it was over there, or click on it, view event, here are your things, and that appears as a hyperlink. You can click on the hyperlink, and it takes you to that page in the notes that we linked in a minute ago. Okay, so anything you type there will appear via that link that you've provided. What we don't want though is we don't want everybody just to be able to add and take away stuff. You want to be able to do it, but you don't want the young people to do it. So in the list where it appears, we're going to change the settings. So there's quite a lot of stuff there, but we want to change the permissions. So I'm going to click on the bit where it says permissions, and we can see just now that members in my Space Geeks team, they can edit it, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to stop inheriting these permissions. Okay, it's going to ask us if you're sure, but we're really sure we don't want the kids to be changing it. So we're going to click on that. Select the group that you want to change. So again, it says edit. I don't want to edit. And so we're going to come across, tick the wee box, and then we're going to edit user permissions. And so I'm going to untick edit, and I'm going to go down to just read. I just want them to be able to see it. Okay, they can click in the events, they can click in any of the notes I give them, but now you can see it's changed it so that they can't add and change all the things that I've got. They can just see what's there, and that's what we need them to be able to do. What we want to do though is we want to be able to post a link to that in our actual in our Teams page. So I'm going to close that, and I'm going to copy the web address from the top. So highlight it, Control C. I'm going to go down to my Teams page, and I'm going to add in a new tab. So the wee plus at the side lets me add in some new stuff. And just now I'm going to add in a link to a website. So I want the first one. So what do I want the tab to be called? Well, I just want it to be called class schedule. So I'm going to type in class schedule, and in the URL I'm going to paste in my link. And then it'll give me the option to save it. So there may be a quicker way to do this. Yeah, I don't know what that is. So just now, this way works. Here, it's even posted a notification into the chat so they can't miss it. There's a new tab, class schedule. If I click on that, it'll bring up the calendar that we read it in just a minute ago, and it'll let them see either what they're going to do or what they might have missed in class.